for the lowest furniture prices in the West. We defend it every day. Self-service furniture.
Now, a Western Montana News Update.
Good morning, Montana. I'm Jill Valley. Steve Harris has the morning off. One of two men facing felony charges who escaped last weekend from the Montana State Hospital at Warm Springs is back in custody, but the most dangerous of the pair is still at large this morning. 29-year-old Richard Allen Smith was captured and arrested in Butte yesterday. Meanwhile, there's still no trace of 20-year-old Anthony Langford, who's accused of murder. Governor Stan Stevens has declared a state of emergency in Deer Lodge County in a move that allows the Montana National Guard to lend equipment and personnel to aid in the search for Langford. Officials continue their search today. Well, the governor has also exercised his veto power and refused to sign a bill that would have given the school foundation program a 4% boost during each year of the coming biennium. Stevens Press Secretary Bjornberg says that the governor is not convinced House Bill 618 will help solve the school equalization problem. He thinks it would be bad public policy to add more money to an unconstitutional funding method. Lawmakers are scheduled to return to Helena next month to deal with the school funding problem. Meanwhile, the University of Montana Faculty Senate met recently to discuss the institution's future inevitable budget cuts. All agree money is a problem, but many are differing from President Cook's plan to have academic programs take the lion's share of the loss. It was suggested that the athletic program be scanned for possible cutbacks, but Cook argued that athletics are not only important to the university, they play an important role in the community as well as around the state.
The biological sciences in women unit, plenty of opportunity. In those other instances, such as the biological, the ground is shifting as well.
It really gets down to a question of whether we're going to be in the Big Sky Conference and whether, for example, we'll be Division I in basketball and 1AA in football. I can tell you the Regents addressed that specifically 2 years ago, and at that time publicly took the position that both MSU and the U of M were going to be in the Big Sky Conference at, quote, a competitive level. Until such time as they change that, I don't think really that we have many options that would save us lots of money in intercollegiate athletics.
I am afraid that the Board of Regents and the administration grossly overestimates the public's interest in intercollegiate athletics. We are not making money in intercollegiate athletics. It's a deficit, a burden to the university. It's cutting into our academic programs. Every time we consider it, it is the same thing that we're making some money, we're making popularity. The university gets worse and intercollegiate athletics is reduced by minimal fractions, and we continue to say, but we can't do it because of the public.
The committee is now reviewing the Cook plan to get their recommendations ready for the Board of Regents by early June. And up next, a word on weather around the state. Stay with us.
Friday nights have more to see. Tune in at 7 for an all-star tribute to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Then at 8, a young child is under the control of an evil force, and violent things begin to threaten her family during the NBC movie Amityville. The Evil Escapes. Followed by 2020 at 10, The Night Report at 11, and Nightline at 11:30.
On KACI, there's more to see.
Well, we've got cooler temperatures with a chance of some rain throughout the weekend, wouldn't you know it? Let's take a look at the Kalispell forecast. For today, it'll be partly cloudy with scattered showers, a high of around 57, lows near 38 degrees. Tonight, it's much of the same, scattered showers mainly over the mountains, highs staying around 57 and lows in the upper 30s. Tomorrow, they say a carbon copy of tonight, more showers just in time for the weekend. In Missoula, it's partly cloudy with scattered showers, high about 57, lows around 38. Tonight, scattered showers with cloud. The snow level is going to be up at 6,000 feet. And on Saturday, yes, you guessed it, rain, 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 rain. In Butte, today there's a chance of afternoon thunderstorms. It's cool with about a 10 to 20 mile per hour winds locally, the high at 52 and the low at 36. Tonight there's some showers and thunderstorms with areas of heavy precipitation. And on Saturday, more rain with snow in the mountains, high 52 and low up 36. Well, that's been the morning update. We'll see you tonight at 5. Have a good day.
KitchenAid dishwashers are
Western Montana News Update.
Morning, Montana. I'm Jill Valley. Steve Harris has the morning off. A 38-year-old Missoula man says he shot and killed a man out of self-defense and pleaded innocent to the charge of murder. Yesterday in Missoula County District Court, Robert Gumness said Milton Ray Ruff came towards him waving a large knife. The altercation occurred last October on the front lawn of Ruff's ex-wife. Gumness was reportedly dating her at the time. After searching for several months, Ruff's body was finally found, draped in the tarp in a drainage creek north of Clinton last week. The prosecution is seeking a life sentence for the crime should Gumness be found guilty. An omnibus hearing has been set for May 30th. Well, all three Spokane men accused of taking several diamond rings from a Missoula jewelry store display case have now pleaded guilty to the crime. John Newkirk was the last to enter his guilty plea before Judge John Harkin in court yesterday after entering a plea bargain agreement with prosecutors. He faces 10 years in prison for his part in the September caper. Well, on the school beat, across town, Missoula's Elementary School District 1 Board of Trustees voted tonight to buy 13 acres of land for future use as a possible school site. The Sunlight Development Corporation now owns the land, which is in the northwest corner of Rattlesnake Valley in Missoula. The purchase price, $65,000. The sale is contingent on voter approval on the November ballot. What proposed new social studies curriculum for Missoula County high schools continues as a heated topic. In the monthly board meeting last night, board members discussed a standardized curriculum as a social studies steering committee presented last week that would revamp the current program at all three high schools. Parents, teachers, and a student group called Students for Progressive Thought Education voted both support and opposition to the plan. Some are concerned that the plan to eliminate certain courses which deal with contemporary issues, including Thanatopolis and nuclear war, will diminish the social studies program. However, some say Missoula County High School education should be universal throughout the city. Also in question is the curriculum for learning disabled and gifted students. The new social studies curriculum is still under consideration. Officials say the new plan, whatever it will go into effect in the fall of 1991. And I'll be back in just a minute with a word on weather. Stay with us.
Wednesday nights have more to see. Tune in at 7 for Unsolved Mysteries, followed by a special episode of Cheers at 8 and Night Court at 8:30. Then at 9, Nazi genocide is recreated at Auschwitz, and Aaron fights to defend his family in Part 4 of the ABC miniseries, War and Remembrance, followed by the Night Report at 11 and Nightline at 11:30.
On KACI, there's more to see.
Well, it could be a little cloudy, it could be a little warmer today. It just kind of depends on where you are. Today in Kalispell, it'll be mostly cloudy and a little cooler. Tonight there could be some showers and thunder showers, but they could diminish. Scattered showers and could be cooler. The temperatures at 68 degrees is the high and about 58 is the low. In Missoula today, we'll be seeing mostly cloudy and cooler skies. Tonight, well, there could be some showers and thunderstorms diminishing. Tomorrow, scattered showers and cooler with west winds. The high would be about 68 and the low about 60, a little cooler than we saw yesterday. And today, for our friends in Butte, it's going to be partly cloudy and a little warmer. Tonight, there might be some showers, but they could be diminishing by Thursday. But then again, they'll come right back up for the middle of the day on Thursday, and it's going to be a little bit cooler. Today, they're going to see a nice high of about 70 degrees and a low of about 58 degrees. So it kind of looks like a good day all around the state if you don't mind a little rain. Well, that's the morning update today. You have a good day, and we'll see you tonight at 5.
Now, a Western Montana News Update.
Good morning, I'm Jill Valley. Montana apparently closed out the Memorial Day weekend with 2 traffic fatalities, both from accidents near Billings. Officials are still withholding the name of one of the victims, a Colorado man whose car burned after a collision around the nation. Estimates indicate that more than 300 people died in traffic-related accidents over the long holiday weekend. Well, officials continue to withhold details about the death of 29-year-old Richard Smith, who was found hanged in a cell in the Butte Silverbow jail on Sunday. Smith was the alleged armed robber who escaped from the state hospital on May 6th with Anthony Langford. Now, Langford is accused of killing a man and wounding a highway patrol officer near Great Falls in April. Silverbow County Coroner Leo Jacobson has confirmed that Smith hanged himself with an object he found inside the jail and that he did not leave a suicide note. An autopsy and test to determine if Smith was on drugs when he died have not yet been released. Well, now that a more promising weather forecast might attract a prospective fisherman, trout in Georgetown Lake had better be on the lookout. The State Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks has made a promising discovery for future fishing hopefuls. Georgetown Lake, historically one of the state's best fishing sites, is definitely on the comeback after years of problems. 2 different strains of rainbow trout were introduced about 5 years ago to try and overcome trout size and population problems. A survey of creeks feeding the lake shows spawning runs have been established and fish size has improved.
Up here we started introducing 2 new rainbow strains in addition to the Arleigh, the Eagle Lake, California strain and the Kamloops, British Columbia strain. Those strains both have a history of natural reproduction, and we hope that they would naturally reproduce here. And it looks as though our hopes have been fulfilled.
To improve trout size and population even more, reduced limits will stay in effect, and the 2 tributaries could be closed to fishing next spring to protect spawning runs. Well, festivities celebrating Montana's 100th birthday continue as the Centennial Wagon Train begins its 3rd day into its 150-mile journey to Bannack. Most were dressed for the part as they pull out of Stevensville Saturday. They plan to cover about 13 miles a day. And that pace, the wagon train should arrive in Bannack in about 2 weeks. It's a slower pace than many are used to, but that's not the point.
And the pace is completely different. Your mind adjusts to the slower pace. And when we're used to traveling along 50, 60 miles an hour in our cars, you don't stop to think this is the way they made it from St. Joseph, Missouri to Oregon. And it was all at this pace. So we get a chance to live that.
Well, once the expedition reaches its destination, a few will continue on to join another wagon train on its way to Helena. That one plans on pulling into the capital city July 4th. And I'll be back in just a minute with a word on weather right after this.
The Black Sheep Squadron is blazing into action. Exciting drama, Black Sheep Squadron, starring Robert Conrad as the leader of a bunch of flying misfits.
Those guys are all screw-ups.
So am I.
It's lovin' and laughter.
Are you drunk?
Catch it. Black Sheep Squadron.
Sunday evenings at 10 on KECI TV.
Well, cool, unsettled weather around the state's going to cause rain for our state. Today in Kalispell, it'll be partly cloudy with a slight chance of rain, high of 55 degrees tonight, mostly cloudy and cool. It's going to get colder. Wednesday, we'll be seeing mostly sunny and warmer for them, high about 63 degrees. In the Missoula area today, partly cloudy, high of 58 degrees. We've got tonight, it'll be coming mostly clear and cool, low 38. Wednesday, we'll be seeing mostly sunny and warmer. Temperatures about 66 degrees. Going on over to the Butte-Bozeman area today, increasing clouds with showers, highs about 48 degrees. Tonight, rain or snow showers, low 34. And tomorrow, we'll be seeing mostly sunny and warmer, high at 56 degrees. That's been your morning update. We'll see you tonight at 5.
Area's biggest draws. Has got to be its rivers and streams. As a result, the fishing business is booming.
Developed when it did and the way it did because one man.
For women working outside of the home, quality daycare is becoming a major factor in family.
I'm Steve Harris. More and more of you are turning to Western Montana News, but we're not resting on our laurels. You asked for it, and we're bringing it to you. Live at 5, 7 days a week.
For a lazy boy chair.
Well, add a $20,000 deficit to requested salary increases and enhancements, and you've got an $82,000 budget shortfall in Missoula's district court system. The district court budget is always somewhat of a problem. Part of the reason for that is because it's very difficult to anticipate revenue accurately.
It's difficult, Wendy, because we can't predict what kind of case will walk into this office this afternoon. I can tell you we'll get 5 or 6 new cases today. What I can't tell you is will it be a major homicide that will cost Missoula County $100,000 to try, or will it be a youth court case that might be resolved with an hour's worth of work? We can't ever get a better handle on those predictions. I mean, we just have to live with that.
Public Defender Margaret Borg says it will probably be up to each Department of District Court to come up with the money on its own to fund salary increases and enhancements. As for the $20,000 deficit, Borg is hoping the Public Defender's Office can contribute to lowering that amount. Borg says although the budget looks grim on paper, it's getting better each year. At least the deficit isn't growing. Well, 4 people are dead today after their medical helicopter from Billings crashed near a ranch in Rapelje in south-central Montana. The aircraft was reported missing about 11 o'clock last night. However, the wreckage wasn't found until 5 o'clock this morning. Sweetgrass County Undersheriff George Ames says there was virtually nothing left of the helicopter, and all 4 people aboard were killed. One of the dead has been identified as rancher Tawny Kalberg. The medical helicopter from St. Vincent Hospital was en route to assist after he'd been injured in an accident. So far, officials are unclear as to why the aircraft crashed. Well, a wolf biologist says the repopulation of wolves in Yellowstone Park is important to complete the park's ecosystem, though the idea is still being met with some hesitancy on the part of nearby farmers and ranchers. Dr. David Meck was at the University of Montana last night speaking about the wolf and its future. He says Yellowstone could see a new wolf population within 5 years, but not until the environmentalists, the politicians, and the ranchers join forces in compromise.
The local Fish and Game Department is responsible to the people of its state, and they have certain wishes. And then the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is beholden to the people of the entire country, and they have certain desires. And it's a matter of kind of trying to get together and seeing where the common aspects of all this is and where compromises can be made so that the positions of both agencies can be heard and that some action.
Meck says new ways can be found to allow wolves and ranchers to live in harmony in Montana, including hunting and trapping those that wander from national park lands and onto ranches. Well, meanwhile, in other wildlife news, United States Senator Max Baucus plans to hold 3 hearings in the state next month to discuss wilderness issues. Baucus plans to speak in Livingston on July 5th and in Kalispell and Missoula on the 6th. Although he won't have a specific wilderness bill to discuss at the hearings, he will focus on an economic study being done by a congressional research team. He asked for a study last year to explore the economic effects of several wilderness proposals on resources and industries in Montana. The study has analyzed a 1.4 million acre wilderness bill vetoed by President Reagan last year, the Forest Service recommendation of about 80,000 acres, and the Montana Wildlands Coalition's proposal for 2.8 million acres. Well, if you've been outside and seen the rain this morning, well, it might be here to stay. I'll have details right after this.
65 million Americans are battling weight problems. Are you one of them? I'm Merlin Olson. There are plenty of diet plans out there, but do they work? And which one is right for you? Find out as dieters tackle 4 of today's most popular weight loss programs. Dr. Nancy Snyderman will offer the pros and cons of each and will expose some diet scams. It's a special program designed to help you face the diet dilemma.
Monday evening at 9 on KECI TV.
Well, the weather around Missoula today will be partly cloudy with scattered showers mainly in the afternoon. Not a high bad temperature of 74 degrees. Tonight we'll see occasional showers and thunderstorms, a low of 48. And on Saturday, cooler with gustier winds, a high of 67. That's been your morning update. I'll see you on Monday morning at 7:25 and 8:25. You have a great day.
Western Montana News Update.
Good morning, Montana. Here's the news at this hour. One woman is dead after a whitewater rafting accident in the remote Selway Bitterroot Wilderness area in Idaho. Around midday yesterday, 41-year-old Karen Brandon of Salt Lake City, Utah, drowned after falling out of her raft. She was wearing a wetsuit and a life jacket. However, she was badly battered in the swift rapids. Brandon was part of a 14-member rafting party of experienced floaters from Salt Lake City. The group got into trouble about 3 miles downstream from the Moose Creek Ranger Station when a series of treacherous rapids swamped one of the 3 rafts. One rafter hiked to a ranger station for help while 2 doctors in the expedition performed CPR for about 3.5 hours. The Selway River level is excessively high due to spring runoff, made worse by the warmer temperatures this week. Well, authorities say that 2 men arrested yesterday with a camper allegedly full of drug manufacturing chemicals may be linked to 2 murders in northern Idaho. There, authorities recently discovered the bodies of 2 people in a house also containing a suspected drug manufacturing lab. 31-year-old Richard Durham and 21-year-old Douglas Daniels were arrested yesterday near Dillon as they tried to repair their broken-down camper. Authorities, acting on an out-of-state tip, found about $300,000 worth of methamphetamine oil and other chemicals in their camper. The two now face conspiracy to manufacture dangerous drug charges and are being held in Butte. The investigation is continuing into the murders. Well, a Montana Army National Guardsman is dead and another injured when the new M1 tanks they were testing collided at Fort Harrison west of Helena. Public Affairs Officer Dick Mooney has identified the victim as 41-year-old James Hodick of Helena. 45-year-old Staff Sergeant Charles Lake of the Clancy area was flown to Deaconess Hospital in Great Falls, where he's listed in stable condition. Mooney says the men were alone in their respective tanks, giving the newly acquired vehicles their final technical checks before the Guard formally accepted them. Mooney also said the accident is under investigation. He did say one tank wound up resting across the sloping front of the other tank. These tanks run about $1.8 million each and weigh about 60 tons with a top speed of 45 miles per hour. And I'll be back with some good news, the weather forecast, right after this.
I think you need two things to be a movie critic, an opinion and a place to express it.
Everyone is a movie critic. That's what's so great about being a movie critic, is that you mix it up with the whole world.
My qualifications are, I'm the movie critic, here's my opinion. Your qualifications are, you're the movie critic, that's your opinion when you go to the movies.
They're the most democratic art form we have. People are intimidated by plays and opera, not movies.
For the critical difference, it's Siskel and Ebert and the movies.
Well, it's going to be a good day for fun in the sun. However, we could see some gloomy stuff descending upon us by the end of the week. Let's go over to northwest Montana in the Kalispell area. Today, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 82. Tonight, though, clouds moving in. We'll see a low of 45, and on Friday, scattered showers, although it will still be a warm one at 78 degrees. In and around Missoula today, a warm, sunny day with top temp of 82 degrees, partly cloudy with a low of 50, and tomorrow, partly cloudy with widely scattered showers, the temperature reaching 80 degrees. Southwest Montana today for the Butte, Bozeman area. It's going to be mostly sunny and warm, a nice high of 78 degrees. Tonight, it's going to get down to 48 under partly cloudy skies. And for the week's end, 82 degrees, but there's a chance of scattered afternoon thunderstorms. Well, that's been your news at 7:25. I'll see you in an hour at 8:25.
I'm Jim Fowler. And now, Western Montana News Morning Watch, live with Jill Valley.
Good morning, Montana. It's Friday morning. Here's what's going on in the news. April 20th, while driving on Highway 200 near Circle in eastern Montana, 37-year-old Patty Meehan crashed head-on into another vehicle. The other driver was not seriously injured. However, Meehan wandered away from the scene and has not been heard from since. Her family fears she suffered a head injury in that collision that may have triggered amnesia, and they're relentless in their search to bring her home.
But something like this is not like her at all. She's very conscientious, and she'd never wreck into someone like that and then walk away from it and not call our house. She has our calling card. She can make a phone call and let us know, but it's been 50 days. That's very unlike her.
How is this affecting the family?
It's crazy. Well, we're out here from Pittsburgh, obviously, just trying to trace her down somewhere in Montana. Hopefully she's still around here, because the last sighting was in Bozeman on the 19th. But it's real stressful on the family.
We just want to get the word out to the people that don't be afraid to call if they think they see her, and that we just want to do everything we can to get her back.
Patty Meehan is originally from the Pittsburgh area, and she's lived in Bozeman for the past 3 years. The Meehans say last month's sighting in a Bozeman restaurant reported the woman as being in a dazed condition with no direction. Her family describes her as shy, and because of her love for children and animals, she might seek work in the child care or ranching fields. If you believe you may know where Patty Meehan is now, contact your local authorities. Well, there's no word yet on the progress of the whitewater rafting party from Salt Lake City, journeying out of the rugged Selway Bitterroot Wilderness. The party lost one of its members yesterday in the rough waters of the Selway River. 41-year-old Karen Brandon fell out of a raft and drowned near a set of rapids known as a double drop in the Laddle. Idaho and Montana rescue crews were unable to revive her. Officials warn that warm temperatures have increased the spring runoff. The water levels in most Montana rivers and streams are at a high and advise extreme caution when rafting in the white waters. Well, Missoula now has a GOP candidate for its race for mayor. Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Dave Owens has made his intent to run official, saying economic development will be one of the key issues during the fall campaign. Owen has been with the chamber for 7.5 years. He joins Democrats Lois Herbig and Dan Kemmis in the September primary. Well, we got a change in the weather forecast today. Could it be rain? Find out. I've got the weather next. Hi, I'm Jill Valerie. Did you know that a recent poll indicates that more than 60% of the American public have or will have experience with the need for long-term health care? But with the skyrocketing cost for health care, most people cannot afford to support someone needing extensive medical attention. And for those already impoverished, it's an even greater tragedy. But what can the government do? Find out this Sunday on Viewpoint on KECI TV at 4 o'clock. Hey, it's me again. There's some cloud action looming over the horizon for the weekend. Let's go ahead and go to Kalispell and take a look at what's happening there. A high today is falling in at 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. There's a chance of scattered showers. Tonight, though, cooler, a low of 46. And on Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorms. It will be about 68 degrees. In west central Montana today, the Missoula region, partly cloudy with scattered showers, still 78 degrees, however. Tonight, cooler again, a low of 48, and on Saturday, a chance of scattered showers, a high of 72. In the southwest part of our state for the Butte-Bozeman area, isolated thunderstorms early in the day, but it will clear up, heating up the region to an 80-degree day. Tonight, maybe some evening showers, a low of 45, and on Saturday, cooler with a chance of rain, high falling in at 72 degrees. Well, that's been your morning update this Friday morning. I'll see you in an hour at 8:25.
We live in a